Since I have extra room for one more before I get a couple videos for October, I decided to do a PS4 game review. And unfortunately, this will be the last one for this year, but I got more PS4 games for next year. I decided to choose Ratchet and Clank that came out in 2016. Yeah, I should have done a review back in June because the new Ratchet and Clank game on the PlayStation 5 Rift Apart was out, but I didn't have enough room for June, so I waited it because of reviews and even anniversary videos. But yeah, I'm going to do a review of it. The story actually takes place in a flashback because Captain Cork tells about Ratchet, a young lumbex who works as a mechanic that wants to join the Rangers. Then a defective robot escapes by using a stolen ship. After the ship crashes on planet Velden, Ratchet rescues the robot, who names him Clank, and the two head out to other planets to stop Dr. Nefarious. Okay, the plot is a typical sci-fi plot you've heard in movies and TV shows, so yeah, nothing special. Plus, this might be complicated because this game is a reimagining of the first game on the PlayStation 2. Before I get to the game itself, you want to know how I got the game. Well, I didn't get the game as a physical copy. I actually downloaded it early this year when PlayStation Store said that it was free. I know I could have paid $20 to find the game in stores, but PlayStation Store was pretty lucky. I know they did the same thing with Horizon Zero Dawn, but I got the physical copy before the game went free for less than a month on the PlayStation Store. So yeah, I'm glad I got Ratchet and Clank for free. Now, the story of the game is not complicated, because the game is a reimagining of the first game, which it was a good idea for me to play this game, though some people would question me like, why did you play that Ratchet and Clank game and not the other games before? Well, I didn't grow up with the other games. I did want to play some on the PS2 and PS3, but never got the chance. Plus, I'm not going to compare this game to the original on the PS2 because there's no point of it. Anyways, let's start how the game plays. The game is a platformer with some action-adventure mixed in it, which that's why I wanted to try this game because I love platformers in games. Which means, yes, the gameplay was great. Knocking out enemies, healing up, grabbing weapons, and collecting nuts and bolts, it is pretty fun. The visuals are pretty stunning. After all, the graphics are 1080p, but yeah, a pretty good visual. Not as gorgeous as Horizon Zero Dawn, but it is stunning and it is cartoony. But I'm fine with that, same with the design of Ratchet and Clank. The worlds they go to are nice to travel, since they have that robotic feel. I don't have a favorite planet in the game, but they look nice in terms of design. Now let's talk about the weapons. Ratchet can attack enemies with his hammer-like weapon. Clank is also playable when he's not with Ratchet. He goes in small vents, jumps, and controls robots. I don't know if this was in the other games, but that's cool. There's other weapons in the game like Combustor, a pixelated weapon, grenades, and much more. The weapons are great to use in the game, and the weapons can even level up and upgrade. So let's move on to the difficulty. I will say this game does get hard near the end, but the last boss was hard to knock out. I did have trouble with the controls. Speaking of that, the controls in the game is good, but not great. But I have seen better controls in other video games. Still, it was rewarding to knock out the last boss. Now, was this game harder than the Crash Bandicoot games? I'd say no, because the Crash Bandicoot levels are harder compared to the Ratchet and Clank levels. And I like the Crash Bandicoot games more than Ratchet and Clank 2016, but because I played more of the series than that. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank on the PS4 was a fun one. If I haven't played the other Ratchet and Clank games, I would have started with this and not the game on the PS2. But I was fine to play this series for the first time, because again, the game reimagined of the first one. And yeah, for the title of the video, I'm calling it Ratchet and Clank 2016 PS4 review, just in case it doesn't get confused. Though it originally wanted to come out in 2015, but it got delayed a year to promote the movie of the same name. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Ratchet and Clank movie, and I'm not in shock that the game is developed by Insomniac Games, the same developers that made Spider-Man 2018. Also, I'm excited to play Rift Apart game on the PS5 once I get the system. Still, Ratchet and Clank was a fun one to add on the PS4. That is all for the review, and now I can move on to spooky videos. See you guys for the next couple of videos for the month of Halloween.